Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to another tutorial. We are doing a very easy coaster today just to get some of you introduced to doing rounds, and we're also going to do a little puff stitch in here. And if you are a pro, this is a super quick coaster. If you are kind of in a rush or you have some extra yarn, or yeah, you just want a quick break. These work up really fast, and they're great little gifts as well. Just to show you, they are about just over 4 inches, so they're a good size as well. Depending on the yarn that you're using, I'm using a DK weight yarn. This is actually silk and merino, just because it's nice and pretty and fancy. This is black Fair Maiden, so it has little gold specks in it, and it's mostly a soft blue and white in here, which is a really pretty kind of variegated look. And you can find this in my shop at www.republicofyarnia.com. So today, yeah, you just need whatever yarn you're using, pair of scissors, a little sewing needle to sew in the ends, and the hook size that I used was a 3.5, if you can see that. Yeah, so it's a 3.5. And if you are using thinner yarn, then your little coaster might be a little bit smaller. So what you can do, if it's not quite the size that you want, is what I have done here is made a little loop at the top, and you can expand, so you can make little shells and grow it a little bit so that you have enough for a decent size. And that's only if you want to. So it's just something that you can add to and be creative and make these things your own and make them unique. Okay, so let's start with a magic ring. So you just wrap around like that, and then pull your yarn through and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So into the magic ring, you're going to double crochet 15. So that's yarn over, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through once, yarn over, pull through once. So you do that 15 times, and when you get to the end, I'll show you how to close it up. Okay, so if you have 15 double crochets plus this chain 3, that's going to make 16, because the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Just take your end here, pull it tight, and pull your work together just like that, and you'll have this little tail, and you can weave that in at the end, because it kind of loosens if you don't, so don't worry about that for now. Okay, so to close the loop, we just slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that you did, and that creates a circle. So for the next round already, we're going to do these puff stitches here, and we're going to have 16 in the end. So make sure that if you are counting, that you just count and make sure that you have 16 in the end. So you start with a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into that same space, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over again, and then go back into that loop, or sorry, into that space, and then pull up a loop. So you'll have 4 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through 2. So now you have 3 loops on your hook, and then do it one more time. So yarn over and go into that space, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So that way you will have 4 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through all 4 of those. Okay, and that is your first little puff stitch. Now chain 2, and you'll chain 2 in between each puff space or puff stitch that you make. So then you go into the next one, and we're going to yarn over first and pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and you'll have 4 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through all 4 of those, and that is your second puff stitch done. So we chain 2 again, 1, 2. Okay, we'll go over that one last time. So it's the same all the way around. So yarn over, go into the next stitch and pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through those 2, and yarn over, go into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, in again, yarn over, pull through 2, and you will have 4 loops again, yarn over and pull through all 4 of those, chain 2. Okay, so just continue to do that all the way around, and I will meet you back when you have 16 of these with a chain 2 space in between each of the puff stitches. Okay, welcome back. I have 15 here, so I'm going to do the last one, and it's just to show you too that you'll have to, you might have to separate the beginning chain 3 and this space here, just to make sure that you sneak that last one in. So after I chain 2, I'm just going to pull up that loop and continue to do as we've been doing, and then make sure that you do your chain 2 at the very end, and then do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that you did in the previous, or at the start. And you can see that my hole here is starting to show through, so I'll fix that in the end, don't worry. So for round 3, we're going to chain 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are doing this round here where we're actually doing treble crochets. So to do that, it's almost like a double, but it's, instead of doing yarn over, you do 2 yarn overs. So it's like that. And then we're going to go into the same space here twice. So you're going to do 2 treble crochets into this same space. So you yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so let's do that again into the same space. Just like that. Okay, now into the top here of your puff stitch from below, you're going to do a treble crochet. So just into the top stitch. Okay, so now you have this chain 2 space here to work into, and you're going to do 3 treble crochets into this space here. So do 1 triple crochet, 2 treble crochets, 3, just like that. and then into the top of your puff stitch, do another treble crochet. And that brings us to the next gap here. We're going to do 3 more treble crochets. So it's treble all the way around, not treble, it's treble. And after you've done those 3 into the gap, you do a 4th one into the top of your puff stitch. Okay, so that is the pattern all the way around. So the next gap here, you do 3 more treble crochets. And then into the top of the puff stitch, you do a treble. So you just continue along that way, and it might look like it's gonna start crumpling up and folding. Don't worry, it flattens out quite nicely. So just continue that all the way around, and I will meet you at the very end here. So just remember that it's 3 in the gap and then 1 on top of the puff stitch. Okay, so I'll meet you back. Okay, so this is sort of what your project should look like. Look how pretty that variegated yarn is too. This would be great for a sweater or even like a baby blanket. It's nice and soft colors. Yeah, so at the very end, you should have a gap here. Make sure that you do into this space here beside the chain 3, you do your last 3 treble crochets. So in the end you will have so let me just finish this, and then also into the top here you will do 1 more. So just beside this chain 3, just do another, because you're kind of pretending that that's the top of your last puff stitch that you did. So in the end you will have 66 stitches if you're somebody who likes to count and keep track. So when you're done that, you just slip stitch into the top of the chain 3, and if you stretch it out a little bit, that will turn into a nice flat circle. Okay, you're almost done. So we're going to chain 3 here, and what row? We are on round 4. So in every stitch around, including the first one here, you do a double crochet. So that is a very simple round. I told you this was a massively easy coaster. Okay, so just continue to do double crochets all the way around, and I will meet you back at the very start. All right, so once we've made it to the final stitch here, I'll just get that into focus. Just into this space here, make sure that you do 1 more double crochet, and then you slip stitch into the top of your chain 3 space, and you have almost finished this cute little coaster. So for the final round, 1, 2, 3, 4, round 5, you chain 1 and do a single crochet into that same space, then chain 2, skip the next stitch, and into the next one you do a single crochet, chain 2, skip the next stitch, and into the next one you do a single crochet, chain 2, skip this one into the next one, do a single crochet, and you keep doing that all the way around. So I will meet you back at the very start. So it's chain 2, skip this stitch, go into the next one with a single crochet. Okay, so we'll see you back. Okay, so we'll see you back at the start. Okay, so we have finished round 5, and I've chained 2 for the last stitch here, and what I'm going to do is actually just slip stitch into the first single crochet that you did to start off, and that's just going to connect it in a cleaner way, just like that. So now if your project is, if you use thicker yarn, then your project is done if you want, or if it's if you use thinner yarn and you are finding that the coaster is too small, you can go around again. So what you would do is slip stitch into the first stitch there, and then chain 3, and then go into this chain space, and you can do clusters of, so you can either do more puff stitches or you can do shells. So that would be like 4 double crochets. Oh. And then you can single crochet into that one, into the next space, and then into the next space you do another 4 double crochets, just like that, and then into the next space you do a single crochet. So you could do that all the way around, and it will give you a little frill all the way around. That's just an option for you. You can create your own. You can do little picots at the top here to make it pointy. So just make it your very own creation. But I thought that this would at least be a good size for most people, and if you want to make it bigger or fancier, then you have the option to make it grow. But that is it for this one. If you're finishing off here, you actually we slip stitched, so we cut the yarn and pull it through just to finish it off like that. And like I said, you just take your sewing needle here and weave in the ends, and then yeah, that's it. It's a perfect little circle and a lovely little coaster. So that is it for this little tutorial. Have fun with this little project. It's nice and easy, and won't take you time at all. So we'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves and have fun, relax, and be well. See you again.